Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome to another rebuild. We are once again on the PS5, and we are going to be taking a look at the LA Rams. Yeah, if you get the reference, you're a real one. So, the LA Rams are an interesting team. We've taken a look at this team in a few different formats over the past year or two on the channel. I've obviously done a 10-year rebuild on them last Madden, last cycle, and we had some interesting things happen with them. We obviously won some championships, at least one. I don't remember how many we won total, but I know we won at least one. And so we did some things in that rebuild. I don't know if I'm going to fully explode the team, but there are some big names on this team. Aaron Donald, Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, to name the biggest ones. And those guys are all pretty old at this point. So I think I want to go in a completely different path for this rebuild. I think I want to trade all of the expiring old deals and all of the high overall veteran players that are Ram lifers, like Aaron Donald, like Cooper Kupp, and see how much capital and assets we can get back in return for that. Because I feel like we could get at least 4 or 5 first-round picks for all 3 of them combined. Maybe even more, depending on who we trade with. So I feel like we can set ourselves up for the future. Now, the immediate future would be a little bit impacted because we'd probably take on some hefty penalties for dead cap by trading these 3 massive contracts. But I think we could get through that in the end and come out the other side probably, honestly, a little bit better. So I think year number 1, the game plan is to trade those 3 players at least, maybe a couple other veterans that I decide later on, but trade those 3 players at the least and tank for the season, try to get the number 1 overall pick, hope and cross your fingers that the draft class has a quarterback at the top of the class, because that's obviously going to be our need. We're not going to be getting it done with Stetson Bennett or whoever else is. Carson Wentz, I think, is the backup. We're not going to be getting it done with anybody on this staff already, on this quarterback room. So we need to probably focus, obviously, on quarterback. We need to focus in this offensive line. It's going to be very, very tough. And I think that's the game plan. Build around Puka Nacua, because he's hopefully going to be our number 1 receiver for the future, unless we draft somebody else, I guess, or trade for somebody. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But that's the game plan for this rebuild. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Remember, these rebuilds in any video that I do on my channel is not realistic. I don't delve into the realism aspect of video games because, to be frank, there's a ton. Every YouTube video that you see that deals in sports, whether it's Madden or 2K or FIFA, I guess it's FC now, or MLB The Show, whatever video game it is, there's millions of YouTube channels that do realistic stuff. Realistic rebuilds, realistic franchises, realistic trades, realistic whatever. I don't do that. And if you don't like that, that's fine. That's totally your deal. If you only want to watch realistic stuff, that's perfectly fine. But this channel and this content that I make is just not going to be for you. I do enjoy realistic stuff. Trust me, I subscribe to a bunch of YouTubers that do realistic stuff. Bangle, Mr. Hurricane, to just name a couple. So I follow a bunch of different people who do realistic stuff. I enjoy it. Just the content that I want to make, the rebuilds that I want to do, I want to have some fun. It's a video game. I want to trade for Jalen Waddle and Jamar Chase on the same team. I want to have Lamar Jackson on a different team. I want Patrick Mahomes on the Jets. I want Patrick Mahomes on the Lions. I want crazy, unrealistic stuff to happen because it's never going to happen in real life. So why not? It's a video game. Why not have it happen? So I know I haven't said this speech in a while, but I figure every once in a while I'm getting a bunch of new viewers stopping by. So that's the deal. If you like unrealistic stuff, I mean, there's not many unrealistic people out there, so might as well be me. So that's my little rant over with. I hope you guys go and enjoy the video. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, leave your comments down below for other teams you want to see me rebuild, whether it's a modern day team, like current day team you want to see me rebuild, or if you want to go to the 2014 or the 2015 mod or the 2012 mod on the PC and take on a team there. You can leave that on any video. And also the college football mod. So plenty of different options, plenty of different scenarios you could see. And it doesn't even have to be a team. Maybe you want to see a simulation of a rookie. Like, I don't know, you want to see Andrew Luck's 2012 from 2012 career re-simulation, see what happens in his career, how many championships he win. Other stuff like that. It doesn't have to be a team rebuild. So leave your comments down below in any of my videos, but this one too. And let's go rebuild the current day LA Rams and try to get them back to a championship, because they sold out for their one they got, and they need a little bit of help. This is the roster we're working with, at least the offense. We've got Matt Stafford here. We talked about in the intro how he's probably going to be on the move. Matt Stafford, very, very good player. Probably a Hall of Famer if we break it down. I know he doesn't have the overall success. He's got the one championship, but he doesn't have the overall success because most of his career was in Detroit. But I'd say he's got the yards, he's got the longevity, he's got the Super Bowl. He's probably a Hall of Famer. And I respect Matt Stafford. He's just not going to be the quarterback for this rebuild, mainly because he's old. And we know that in Madden, old players tend to get bad really, really quickly. Same deal with Cooper Kupp. I love Cooper Kupp. He's one of my fantasy legends. In past fantasy years for me, I would get Cooper Kupp. He would pretty much carry me to the Super Bowl. So Cooper Kupp is great. Love Cooper Kupp. He's going to be a big trade target in year number 1. Same deal with Aaron Donald, but we'll get to him in a second. The rest of the offense is in need of some help. We've got Puka, who I talked about, is probably going to be, hopefully, our number 1 receiver. Star development, 22 years old, rookie from BYU. He's got all the makings of a young Cooper Kupp. We can just basically get Cooper Kupp, squeeze all the value we can out of Cooper Kupp, ship him off to wherever we trade him to, and then just replace him with a younger, could be eventually better version. So I like that. We're gonna probably need to get a running back because I don't think Kyren Williams is gonna be the guy. I think Kyren Williams is a really, really good player, and recently in real life he's had some pretty good season or pretty good games. I think he could be a guy for us. I guess we'll find out. The normal development doesn't really help. It's hard for running backs to get a development upgrade, especially in simulation. But being 23 years old, he's got a lot of help, and he's already 83. So, I mean, there is a path for him to become the number 1 running back on this team when we eventually win a championship. But it's not off to a good start because he's only normal development. But we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We're not going to go for a running back right out the gates. But if one happens to fall in our lap, or free agency, or the draft, whatever it may be, I'm gonna think about it, basically. The rest of the wide receivers, there's not any really good players. I mean, we got Demarcus Robinson, Ben Skoranek, Tutu Atwell. I mean, we don't got a whole lot. So we're gonna need to revamp this entire wide receiver core. Offensive line, same deal. Steve Avila, I like. I think he's gonna be, hopefully, if he develops, he's only a 74, which is gonna hurt a little bit, but if we play well, in the next couple seasons, he should grow, hopefully. I think he can be a franchise left guard. Everybody else is pretty much going to have to get moved. We're going to have to replace every single person, including Rob Havenstein, however you want to say his name. He's probably going to be one of the guys that we trade here in this first season just to kind of get rid of him and wash our hands of all of these veteran players who are Rams legends because they were on that Super Bowl team. But we're probably going to have to move on for them because we're entering a new era. Kroenke sold me the team, so we're in a new era. Tyler Higbee is, again, one of those guys we're probably going to move on from because he's 30 years old and he's kind of expensive for his overall and his age. It's just not going to work too well. So this entire offense, pretty much, this is going to be one of those rebuilds where I have a bad feeling that we're not going to be able to retain a lot of the original players. Like, you know how I like to keep most of the roster the same from the original base team that we started with to when eventually we win a championship. I like to have most of those core players still on the team when we win the championship, but I have a bad feeling that this Rams team is going to look completely different. There might be a new player at every single position, except for Puka. and Avila probably. But there might be a new player at every single position when this whole thing is done. And then to the defense. It's not good. We really sold out to win that championship against the Bengals because there's no more Von Miller, there's no more Jalen Ramsey, there's no more Bobby Wagner, there is no more anybody on this team except for 3 guys that matter. Aaron Donald, John Johnson III, and Jordan Fuller. Aaron Donald is, I don't even know if you can say arguably at this point, the best defensive lineman of the 2010s and of the modern era. I would pretty much feel confident arguing that because he's just a freak. Ever since he came in the league in 2014, he's been a monster, and he's a guaranteed, almost unanimous Hall of Famer, I would say. Even before he got that championship, now he's got a Super Bowl, so I'd say guaranteed unanimous Hall of Famer. I would say unanimous, but who knows what the actual voters will say. But Aaron Donald is a freak of nature, and he, unfortunately, is probably going to have to be moved in this rebuild. So if you're a Rams fan watching this, I apologize, but this is for the betterment of the organization, the long-term future of this club, to make them good in the long term. You got to suffer the consequences and suffer the pain and the agony of losing some of your all-time favorites in the short term. The defensive line, or the linebacking core, needs a complete overhaul. The rest of the defensive line, including Aaron Donald, needs to be flipped. Corners all need to be changed. I like Akello Weatherspoon, but he's just not going to be the guy. Hodges Tomlinson, I like. He was good at TCU, but is he going to develop normal development 67 overall? Probably not. Kobe Durant's a fine player, but we'll see what happens with him. John Johnson III, I said, but he's old. Jordan Fuller, I like. Go Bucks, but we'll keep him around. Maybe he's going to be the one player that we do keep around, not just because he's a Buckeye, but because he's young and decently good. So yeah, this whole team is going to need an absolute overhaul. That is for sure. This is going to be the most turnover we're going to see in one of my rebuilds, probably, maybe ever. But we need to cross our fingers now, hope that this auto-generated draft class gives us a quarterback at the top. And I see one, and he's got a legendary name, Terry Snowden. Terry Snowden headed to the bright lights of California. Oh, it's a match made in heaven. 6'3", 225. We don't know what his attributes are going to be, but I'm guessing he is going to be slow because he's a what? But I guess I shouldn't say that right now. We don't know much about him, obviously, because we just loaded the draft class, but that is a good sign that there is a quarterback at the top of the class, and he's projected to be top 5. Now, we don't know if that's going to be his true talent or not, but the rest of this draft class does not have anything for quarterbacks. A little bit upsetting, but that's okay, because if Snowden is what we hope he is, we won't have to worry about that anymore. So that's the draft class. We will look more into that in week 8 when we know, obviously, a little bit more about them. But now it's time to trade the players. So we need to first take a look at the salaries to know how much dead money we're going to be eating today, because I might want to be a little bit full. So Aaron Donald has just inked himself a new extension. 5 years, $59 million. The penalty for trading him is $24.5. It's a lot. Same deal with Cooper Kupp. It's a lot. 22.2. Stafford, 23 is the penalty for him. Havenstein, 16. Even Carson Wentz is a freaking $13 million penalty. So we are in a little bit of trouble, I would say. But you gotta eat it now so that it doesn't come back to bite you in the future. So we are going, and remember, free money, the juice way. We can work out the salary cap in the future. But let's do it. Let's bite the bullet now. What if I just throw all 3 of them right up on the trade block right now? I can get a bunch of I can get Jamar Chase, PS2. Okay, so I'm not going to do this. I just wanted to see kind of what we would get. So Aaron Donald's going to be first up. He is 32, which could hinder his value, but it looks like teams are all in. And like I said, we could potentially get out of this 4 or 5 first-round picks from Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Stafford, Havenstein, all these guys. And I like this Jalen Waddle and a first-round pick from the Dolphins. That's very intriguing. I wonder if there's a way for me to grab a really good player and multiple first-round picks. You know what? I kind of want to send him to... Ooh, I could send him to Chicago for both of their first-round picks. I might try to do this. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to send Aaron Donald to Chicago for this many picks. We'll get 2 first-round picks this year, a second-round pick this year, and then a first and a second next year from Chicago. This is probably not going to go through, but we'll see. It's at the red. Okay. So what about if I throw Tyler Higbee in this deal? Because honestly, we're probably not going to get much for Tyler Higbee in the long run. So that doesn't even move the needle that much. See, that's what I'm talking about. So we do probably have to go into the draft capital. What about if I go to 2027 and give him a second round? That's 2026. Why did I do that? What about if I go to 2020? Oh, I can only go to 2026. Okay. I guess I thought I was a year later. Let's go to 2026, give him a second round pick. That moves the needle slightly. I think I'm asking for a little bit too much. I want to come away with 2 first round picks. Maybe the second round pick is a little bit too much. Maybe we just come away with 3 picks this year and then a pick next year. And then that is okay, that's in the orange. What about if I do this? That's in the yellow. You know what would be easier? It would be easier if I saved up my staff points and then did all the simulation stuff. We could do that at week 8. If I traded these guys at week 8, then I would probably have enough staff points to make these trades easy. I think I might do that. Let's hold off. Let's not trade anybody right now. We're still going to try to be bad, but I'm going to save up my staff points from simulating to week 8 or maybe even week 11, whatever it may be. And then, oh, by the way, if you don't know, I don't play with the trade deadline on because who wants to not be able to trade late in the season? I want to be trade whenever I want. It goes along with those non-realistic stuff. So if we go to week 11, that might give me a little bit more time. I guess we'll see. We'll see how many staff points we acquire throughout the season until week 8. And then maybe that's when we'll make our move. I just want to make it easier for me to trade so that I can get what I want out of it. So I'm going to see you guys at week number 8, and we'll not only see how good that quarterback is, but we'll also see how many staff points we have to be able to purchase all that player personnel stuff in the trading. Okay, we've made it to the week 8 mark, and we sit at 5-2 currently on the year. It's a little bit upsetting, the fact that we're winning games in year number 1. But we still haven't done anything to the roster yet. We have 137 skill points and a breakout defensive lineman. Bobby Brown III has a chance to go up from normal to star development. Okay. I think he can do it. Nah, who am I kidding? He's probably not going to be able to do it. But the national focus... Okay, mock draft number 2. Let's talk about this first. So, is the quarterback as good as we hope? He is an improviser, which is good. 22 years old. Great to elite strength, only good to great throw power is a little bit concerning. But he doesn't look bad. He just doesn't look like blow you away type of talent. If we want to go right away, I mean, there's this guy, Martin Fox, who looks unbelievable. Oh my God, finesse moves and power moves. Martin Fox looks unreal. That's why I kind of want to get that Bears draft pick. But that quarterback doesn't look unbelievable. But he doesn't look bad either. The national focus, I didn't even change my scout. That's kind of upsetting. Can I change my scout now? I might be able to. Let me fire this scout. I sorted it on accident. I can't fire the scout in the season. It sucks. I should have done that. Okay, I'll still do quarterback, but I'm not going to get that 25% bonus. That's kind of sucky. I forgot about that. That's my bad. All right, let's go to the staff points. Managed staff, franchise staff. I don't know if we're going to have enough to completely buy it out, but we'll see. Hold on. I need to first go here and then make sure that's 20% less. That'll help a little bit. But we get that discounted. We get that. Bump that up. We get this one 21. Okay, so we're not going to have enough to fully max out everything, but we have enough to do a little bit. And I think if we get to week 11, that could do it. I didn't even see who the negotiations are. Who's up for a new contract? So it's John Johnson, Jordan Fuller, Kevin Dotson. I mean, we have a lot of money, but that's just because we haven't traded anybody yet. I want to get Jordan Fuller back here, so if we offer him a 4-year deal, he's going to accept that. John Johnson III is interesting. He's only 27, and he's not honestly costing that much money. If we offer him a $5 million salary with probably 4.5 on the bonus, he says that's good. Okay, so we got both our safeties back. Kevin Dotson at 26. Being star development makes me want to bring him back, and only 26 years old. I'll offer him this. We'll see what he says. He's going to come back. Okay, that's probably everybody we need to come back. Duke Shelley, I mean, we can find other corners, I think. He's not that big of a deal, is he? Is he that big of a deal? 26 years old. I feel like we can get other corners. We don't need him. I'm going to simulate a couple of weeks up to week 11. And then we're going to find out if we have enough staff points to be able to make those trades. So, ooh, by the way, did Bobby Brown... We beat the Cowboys, too. It was a humbling experience for him. So Bobby Brown does not go up to star development. I figured that was going to happen. They never usually do. But we are 6-2. Deep into this season. Just beat the Packers. Are we really going to blow this team up? We have a chance to win a Super Bowl in year 1. We have a tandem breakout on offense. We're 7-2 at week 11. This is a weird team. It's a very weird team. We only have 21 staff points, though. That's not going to be able to get us enough. It might be able to get us one extra thing. Oh, it's Puka and Cooper Kupp. We're going to challenge Puka. We'll challenge Puka Nacua. He has to get 150 plus receiving yards. I doubt that's going to happen. You never know. Maybe it could. He'd go up to superstar. That'd be awesome. Okay, so focus players. It's probably going to be that quarterback. I got to know how good he is. So we got him up to 85%. I got to know how good he is. We're also going to learn about Martin Fox because I also want to know how good he is. And I'm curious about who else. Ooh. Oh, there's a corner. Oh, okay. I got to know how good the corner is. Taj Bullock? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Beulah? Those are going to be my guys. So that scouting should get us up to 100% on the quarterback. We should know how good the quarterback is officially, like what his true talent is. If we simulate here to the Seahawks game, we win that one. Did Puka go up? Did Puka Nacua go up? He was ready to... he didn't get it done. The tandem breakout on offense, they never works. I don't know why that they even give that scenario out. It never, ever works. But at week 12, I don't like this. I don't like that we're doing so well. I was hoping we'd be bad so it would justify me trading those guys. But now, we're firmly in the playoffs. And it wouldn't feel right. We have 29 points... I think I want to do this one. So we are just a few staff points away from fully maxing that out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to game the system. I'm going to try to simulate the rest of the season, not make any trades, build up those staff points, and then depending on when we get eliminated from the playoffs, unless we win the Super Bowl, I'm going to trade all of those players before the next salary cap rolls over. So before the new league year. I think I'm going to try to cheese the system like that. We're going to find out if it works. I got to be really focused, but I'm going to simulate the rest of the year, see how this plays out, and I'll catch back up with you guys at the end. So we've ended year number 1, 13-4. How did we end the year 13-4? I have absolutely no idea. We got to take a look at the stats at least, see how this happened. Matt Stafford just had a resurgence of his career. He found the fountain of youth, I guess. 4,100 yards, 30 touchdowns, 7 picks with a 73% completion percentage. Are you kidding me? Why did Matt Stafford choose to have this good of a year? Kyron Williams, 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns. If that gets him up to star, we might have our running back, because that's a really good year. Cooper Kupp had 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns. Demarcus Robinson was second with 864 and 6. Puka had 823 and 3. Higbee had 394 and 3. Okay, Demarcus Robinson? Whatever. And then on the defensive side of things, Ernest Jones led the team with 123 tackles, 87 for Johnson III. Donald had 84. Fuller was 73. Michael Hoyt, 72 tackles, 13 for loss, 4.5 sacks. That's a really good year for somebody that I didn't expect to have that good of a year. 19 tackles for loss for Donald led the team, 13 for Hoyt, 12 for Bobby Brown, 11 for Byron Young. Sack leader was, of course, Aaron Donald, 17, 5.5 for Young, 4.5 for Hoyt, 1 for Brown and a couple other guys. Pick leader was Akilla Witherspoon with 2 and Jordan Fuller with 2, and then a few guys had 1. So somehow we have not only been the 1 seed, but finished 13-4 and had a fantastic year with the roster that we put, like, that we didn't even touch. This is just the base Rams roster. And now we take on the Panthers and Bryce Young, and we beat them by 2. We take on the Falcons in the NFC title game. We are in the NFC title game in year 1 of this rebuild, where I haven't done anything. This is like the Bengal rebuild that I just did, where we won the Super Bowl in year number 1. I don't know how we're here, but we are. And speaking of the Bengals, they're here in the AFC title game against the Dolphins. It's us versus the Falcons. Falcons upset the Cowboys. That Falcons playbook, man, is crazy. I would not be surprised if we lose this game. We probably should lose this game, but maybe we could win it. Falcons, Rams, 12-5 versus 13-4. That Falcon playbook is kind of crazy. We'll see what happens. And it's going to be a loss, 38-24. Not surprising by any means. The more surprising thing is that we made it that far. We made it to the NFC title game. And it's going to be Bengals versus Falcons. It could have been a rematch of the Super Bowl from a couple years ago in real life. A very interesting thing that happened there. Okay, so now that we are here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these last staff points to purchase the rest of these things. I don't know if they're going to take effect right away or if I have to simulate the Super Bowl or not, but now we have all of that stuff bought, so that whole trading side of the tree is completely purchased. I don't know if it takes effect or not. I guess we have all of the stuff that we need to have it originally, so now if we try to trade Aaron Donald, we're not going to get crazy offers, but I think I can still get the Bears deals. So that it's a good thing we didn't trade for that pick already, because it moved to number 25 instead of number 9 where it originally was. Okay, so how do we make this work? I think we still trade with the Bears, but we try to get a first and a second. We try to get a first and another second, and then we try to get a first in 2026. And that's in the red. But if we add in Tyler Higbee, that's still in the red. Okay, I think the 2026 first might be a little bit too much. That's in the orange. What about if I add that 2026 second like I was originally going to add? What do you say about that? That gets it to the yellow. So we are talking a little bit. We're having some conversations. I definitely think we need to come away with 2 first-round picks for Aaron Donald. That just needs to happen. So coming away with 2 first-round picks is probably the deal. If we could give them Carson Wentz, I'd be happy about that. That helps it, but that's all the players we can give them. Now we have to give them draft picks. What about a 2025 third? Into the green, but it's probably not going to be enough. I feel like it has to be a 2025 second, doesn't it? We just swap seconds with the Bears. That's still not even good enough. What about a third from 2026 as well? Oh, okay, so probably not Carson Wentz. Maybe somebody else that they like. Who do I have here? I've got Bobby Brown. I mean, do you want Bobby Brown? He had a good season. That gets it decent, but it doesn't do much. And then we go in here and we give them the 3rd round pick from 2026. I feel like we have to come away with 2 first round picks. I feel like we have to come away 2 first-round picks. That just has to happen. But what about if we ask for a third in 2026? Okay, now we're speaking some languages. What about a 4 this year? So 2 firsts, a second, and a 4 is declined. What about just this? It's declined. How do they not want to give up 2 first-round picks? I know that we're asking for the second pick in the draft, but I was banking on the fact that we'd have the number 1 pick because we'd be bad, but I guess we don't. I feel like this isn't enough for Aaron Donald. I feel like Aaron Donald, even though he's 32, still needs to come away with multiple draft picks. That's in the green. What if I had the 3rd? Still in the green. If I had the 2nd in 2025, there's got to be a way for me to not give up my first-round pick and still come away with all this stuff. How about if I give the 2026 first? 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. I don't want this to go through right away, so I'll add something else in. A 3rd in 2026. Okay, this could go through. It doesn't. Okay, so we're going to need a 2nd-round pick in 2025. And then I'll give them a 3rd in 2026, I guess. Still nothing? Okay, I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna simulate the Super Bowl, and then we're gonna find out if they needed a week to activate, basically. So the Bengals killed the Falcons 42-9. So we now enter the offseason. But I'm not going to trade, or I'm not going to simulate to the re-sign period, because that would start the new league year. DJ Turner must have had a pick or something. Pick. As he gets the MVP of the Super Bowl as the Bengals win their first Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, MVP of the league. Jonathan Taylor, Von Miller, Players of the Year. Bijan and Jalen Carter. So typical guys you would see, except for Von Miller's a little bit of a random one. Sometimes, or most of the time, it's Micah Parsons. Okay, so now that we've simulated, it's had a chance to adjust. Hopefully that means the value will be there now. So if we have Tyler Higbee and Aaron Donald, and we talk to the Bears for their 1st-round pick, their 2nd-round pick this year, then their 1st-round pick and 2nd-round pick next year, what do they say to that? No, it's in the red. Okay. What about just that? It's still in the red. But what about if I give them the 1st-round pick from 2026? I didn't want to do that, but it looks like it's the only way that we're going to be able to get it across. Into the orange. Still in the orange. This has got to go through. I think I might have to just... I might just have to bite the bullet on getting like crazy good value, and we might just have to take what we can get. So there's the original trade that I was offering, and then we can give them a, what was it? It was a 3rd in 2026, and then a 2nd in 2025, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna go through. I don't know why this is so difficult. I mean, I understand why it's so difficult because Aaron Donald's older. But I feel like we should be able to get multiple 1st-round picks for Aaron Donald, shouldn't we? That just feels like it should happen. That doesn't even go through. So 2 1st-round picks and a 2nd this year for Aaron Donald and a 1st. I mean, are you kidding me? What kind of games are we playing right here, Chicago? That still doesn't go through. Man, I'm trying my best to get as much value out of this as possible, but it's just not happening. They're being super stingy, even with the upgrade stuff. Okay, Chicago's not going to be the team. I didn't want to do that. Chicago's not going to be the team because they're not working with me here. They're not working with what I need. So we're gonna go look for a team that's not in the top 2, but preferably top 5 at least. Maybe the Cardinals at 7 and 8. How's that? Maybe they'll play ball with me a little bit. Okay, see, this is going a little bit better. I know I only have 3 first-round picks, but this is going slightly better than when I had 4. We'll throw Bobby Brown in there because we don't need Bobby Brown. And then we'll give the 2026 third. And the 2025 second, I guess. Man, these teams are stingy for Aaron Donald. These teams are stingy. I understand that I could package Donald and Cup and all those guys together and come away with something good, but I'm trying to get the most value out of it, out of each guy. So that's why I'm not doing that. But if I get rid of that, I think it might have to be 2 seconds. It might have to be my 2026 second as well. We might have to punt on the 2026 year. That didn't even get it done. Donald, Higbee, Brown, a first and 2 seconds for 3 first-round picks doesn't even get it done. It's so close too. Maybe it's Higbee they don't want. Maybe they want another draft pick. How about a fourth from this year? No. How about a third from next year? Oh my God, that's so close. That is so close. What about the third from this year, I guess? Oh my God, it still doesn't go through. It's right on the edge. I'm not giving you my second round pick this year. I'm trying to come away with as many picks this year as possible. I don't want to give them my second round pick. Kyron Williams doesn't go up. That's unfortunate, but he is an 85 overall. What about, I mean, who else could I throw them? Is this where I give them Havenstein? He doesn't move the needle. This is just out of control. I thought this would be slightly easier. Do I give them Ernest Jones? I thought because he'd be young, he would help it out, but he doesn't do it. Michael Hoyt has star development, which is interesting. What about if this is this where I give them Duke Shelley? Because we're not going to re-sign Duke Shelley. Oh my God, it's right there. Give me the 3 first-round picks. You know you want to do it. How am I going to make this work? It is on the edge. Does Okella Witherspoon push it through? Okella Witherspoon doesn't push it through. Oh my God, I don't know how to do this. How do I get this done without giving up too much? If I give up my second round pick this year, I feel like that's too much. But that seems to be the only way they'll accept it. Unless I give them somebody crazy. And I don't really want to do that. 3 seconds and a first? I mean, that just feels a little weird. What about if I keep Bobby Brown and I give them Tyler Higbee? Does that matter? Finally, trade offer accepted. I feel like I gave up way too much. Donald and Higbee, a first in 2026, and then every second round pick that I have gets us 2 first round picks this year, 7 and 8, plus a first rounder next year from Arizona. Oh man, I feel like that just feels too much. That feels like I gave up way too much and not getting back enough. But maybe I did get back enough. I have no idea. Cooper Kupp's the next up on the docket. And we could trade with Denver and get a 2025 first round pick. I know that I got to come away with a first for Cooper Kupp. That's just got to be what happens. I wonder if I could get... Is it possible to get Christian Gonzalez and the Patriots pick? Is this even possible? Probably not. No, it's not even close. It doesn't help that the Patriots have the 3rd pick. What can I get for Cooper Kupp? I could probably get 11, 43, and a 1. That's very close. Okay, we're actually possible this time. So I can get back my 1st round pick that I gave, or my 2nd round pick that I gave to the Cardinals by getting the Titans pick. That would make me feel a little bit better. We chuck Havenstein in there, and then we throw in, who do we not need? Well, we don't need Duke Shelley because we're not going to re-sign him, so. But this could go through. Is there any way I could get like a 3rd in 2026? No. Oh my god, that's so close. Okay, so I'll just give him like a 7th or something. A 7th in 2026. I guess that didn't do it. What about a 6 in 2026? 2026 is going to have no draft picks. That didn't get it done either. How about a 7 and I have multiple 6s in 2025. That got it done. So Cooper Kupp heads to Tennessee along with Havenstein and Shelley, along with 2 6th-round picks for 2 firsts and a 2nd this year. So 2 firsts, or a 1st and a 2nd this year, which is good, and then a 1st next year. So we have 3 first-round picks next year. Our own, the Cardinals, and the Titans. And we still have Stafford to trade. So we're looking good on assets. That's right, we have 4 first-round picks this year because we got 2 from that Cardinals deal. So we have 7, 8, 11, and 30, plus we got that 2nd-round pick back. So our pick assets are looking good for this year and then for next year with 3 first-round picks. But then 2026, there's not anything. But we could get that back with Stafford, I guess. Stafford. And then who else do we want to get rid of? Probably, I guess not Bobby Brown. There's not really anybody else that I want to get rid of. So Stafford just has to be the guy. And maybe this is where we take one of these deals instead of creating our own. So we could get Deron Payne, a 3rd, 6 and 2 7s. A 2nd is intriguing. The Lions are giving me an interesting deal, and that'd be pretty funny to send Stafford back to Detroit, let him retire as a Lion. That might be what we do. Will Levis, a 2, a 4, and a 6. Probably not going to do that. Tariq Woolen, I like. That's cool. Michael Mayer. Jeremy Chin. The Lions is the most intriguing one. We get Jameson Williams. We send Stafford back to Detroit to retire as a Lion. And I'm going to do this deal. Accept the deal. Stafford's now in Detroit. And we have a lot of capital. Plus Jameson Williams, which is not that bad. Him and Puka could be good. So 4 first-round picks to work with. A 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th. And then we get that 2nd-round pick back. Thanks to Detroit. We get an extra 3rd, an extra 4. So 2024 and 2025 draft picks are looking pretty good now. We just have no players. So that's what we need the draft to work with. But we need to know how good that quarterback is. And I can check right now, I guess. So let's take a look at the prospects. He's a round 2 to 3 guy. Does that even mean he's going to have a development trait? Terry Snowden. Is he gonna? I mean, he looks pretty good. He's got the accuracies you want, but he just might not have the development trait. We'll see where he's at in the final mock draft. We will see where he's at in the final mock draft. I think that's everybody that I wanted to trade, so we can finally advance the re-sign period. And now that we traded Duke Shelley, we shouldn't have really anybody that we need to re-sign. So we can just pretty much move on to free agency. And we have a little bit of money. So Jonah Williams, yeah, nah, we don't need anybody here. So we could go to free agency and hope that there's some players to fill some holes. I'm still astonished at how we made it all the way to the NFC title game with that roster. It doesn't make any sense, but we did it. Jordan Brooks, okay. I'd never see Jordan Brooks here. I don't know why these... Hold on. This roster has Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. This is the normal roster that I use. How did these guys get here? I don't know. I don't know how they got here, but they're here. Whatever. Running back, I think we're going to stick with Kyron Williams, mainly because there's not really anybody here that I want over him. And then receiver, we just added Jamison Williams. And I don't want anybody else. Tight end, we don't have the dude anymore, but I don't want anybody here. Offensive line, there's not anybody good. Defensive line, nobody here either. O'Shane Jimenez is interesting, but he's too low of an overall. I like the Jordan Brooks deal. We get him locked up until he's in his 30s. He could develop if he plays well. Let's offer him that and see what he says. So that puts us in the contention for him. But I'll have to offer him, I want to offer him a little bit more. I'll offer him 10. I'll go crazy. We got the money. Might as well spend it. Offer him 10 and 10. Hopefully that puts us over the Jets. And it does. Okay, hopefully he accepts it. It's not guaranteed that he's going to accept it, but hopefully he does. And as a backup plan, we'll throw a little bit of an offer in on Devin Bush. And if he does accept and they both accept, then we'll play the 4-3 with both of them. Let's see. Anybody else? Corners. Christian Fulton. Whoa, how did he make it through? And Kelvin Joseph. I always go for Kelvin Joseph. But there could be some corners here like Christian Fulton. I don't know how he made it through past the Titans, but if we could lock Christian Fulton up for a while and he wants to be here, that could be huge. So we do that. We're not on his board, but I think that's just a visual glitch. And then I got to go for Kelvin Joseph, man. You know how I am about Kelvin Joseph. He's always here, and he's always a good value pickup. So we might as well offer him some money. And we'll offer him about that. He likes that a lot. Okay. Do we offer Jeff Okudah too? I mean, we've got Akella Witherspoon. We've got 24 years old at 75 overall. I mean, I don't know if I can ignore that. I can't pronounce your name. Noah Igbinogun? Is that how you say it? There might be a silent letter in there. I don't know. But if we get 3 corners to add to this team, that's all the guys I can offer anyway. But our targeted are Jordan Brooks, Christian Fulton, Devin Bush, Kelvin Joseph, Noah Igbinogun. I think is how you say that. I don't know. They all signed, and they all signed with us. We got Jordan Brooks, Fulton, Bush, Joseph. Okay, so we got 3 corners and 2 middle linebackers. Okay, that team, the defense is starting to look a little bit better, starting to shape up a little bit. The defense, at least. Let's go in here, adjust the lineup. That adds Jamison Williams to the roster. And then we go to the defense. Jordan Brooks has an upgrade point. That's cool. All right. We'll give him field general. Cool. All right. So he's 26-year-old. That's a good player right there. That is a good player. And then the corners, Christian Fulton, Joseph, Witherspoon, Igbinogun. I don't know how to pronounce his name. They have Ernest Jones starting, which I don't hate. Having Devin Bush in here too is fine. I was going to have him start over Byron Young, but Byron Young had a pretty decent year. How old is Byron Young? He is 26, so he's around the same age as Devin Bush. So we'll keep it how it is. We need offensive linemen bad. There's a lot that we need to help on this team. But that's the point of a rebuild. I think that's going to be everybody that we offer a contract to in free agency. Now we just need to get to mock draft number 5 to figure out our game plan. We need to get to mock draft number 5 to figure out the game plan, figure out where that quarterback is going to go. Hopefully he falls. Maybe other teams realize that he's not as good as they once hoped, and he falls a little bit, and then we don't have to trade up for him. Then it wouldn't be as much of a reach. But I'm very interested in that pass rusher too, and I think he's going to be number 1 pick. Okay, so mock draft number 5. Where do they have him going? Ooh, interesting. He falls to 2 to Chicago. Martin Fox. He's clearly better than Silas Sanford. I think we have to come away with Martin Fox. That has to be what we do. And at 7, they have us taking Terry Snowden. So that's perfect. We don't have to trade up for him. We're probably going to take him. But I got to come away with Martin Fox. So we got to find a way to trade up with Chicago. And then they have us taking a corner, but it's not the corner that I thought we were going to take. Interesting. Okay, so we'll figure that out. But we got to trade. I think I might try to trade pick number 8 to get up to number 2. That's probably what we have to do. That is probably what we have to do. But we can use our private workout to find out what his true talent is. I'm assuming it's going to be top 5 because he's pretty freaking good. And I want to know how good that corner is. Actually, do I want to know how good that corner is? Probably. I also want to know how Jimmy Barton is. So there we go. Those will be the 3 guys that we use. I'm going to simulate to the draft so that we can find out. I'm assuming that dude is going to be a top 5. That Fox guy. He looks unbelievable. So he's got to be a top 5. All right, college players. Final mock draft. He is. He's a top 5 talent. He's a top 5 talent. The corner is only round 1. Interesting. We got up to 90% on Jimmy Barton. Okay. So somehow we need to get up to number 2. I mean, we were trying to get number 2 from Chicago originally in that Aaron Donald deal, but it just wasn't working. I was getting too frustrated. But now I'm willing to trade a first-round pick, which I wasn't willing to do before. So trading number 8, possibly. I might trade number 11. Or I guess I can trade number 30. We'll see what happens. Okay, no, I'm not going to trade number 30. Just had to see. Number 11. What I might try to do is the old trade 1 spot up until I get up. Let me see if I can do that. So let's trade with who has number 10. Who has the 10th overall pick? It is the 49ers. So 1 for 1, they accept. We now have the 10th overall pick. So now we trade with the number 9 pick to get that. And then you just keep doing that until you get up to the pick that you want. And hopefully it works. So now we trade up to number 9. I'm not sure who has number 9. Who's got number 9? We know number 5. Where are you at, number 9? There you are. Baltimore has it. All right. 10 for 9. They accept. Perfect. Now remember, this probably only works because I've done the staff stuff to make to boost all the odds and stuff. So if you were trying to do 1 for 1 like this without adding that stuff, it's probably a little bit harder. You probably add a little bit more. But we have 7, 8, and 9 now. But now we need to find out. Oh, we have 7 and 8. So now we need to know who has 6. Who's got 6? Number 6 is held by the Jaguars. 3 spots is a little bit more tricky, but they accept it. Perfect. So now we have 6, 7, and 8. And we know that Tampa, I'm pretty sure, has 5. So we can make this work. And all these years won't be this in-depth. I'm only doing this because it's year number 1 and it's the most important year. So let's go to, I think it was Tampa. Yeah, Tampa has 5. So we trade with that. They accept. Perfect. Now we have the 5th overall pick. So we are very close to Chicago. Very, very close to Chicago. We need to find out who has the 4th overall pick. Or I might even skip the 4th and go to the 3rd. Because we went 9-6, so I don't see why. Maybe we could just start it now. Maybe 5-2. Maybe the Bears would be willing to do that. No, they're not. Okay, so it's gonna be pretty difficult to get the number 2 overall pick. It's pretty valuable, and there's a probably generational pass rusher there. So, who has pick number 4 or pick number 3? We can look at either one. Pick number 4 or 3. Patriots have 3. Raiders have 4. Ooh, super close. Barely doesn't go through, but the Raiders give me their picks, so I could have just added like a 7th or something, and they probably would have accepted it, but we're just trying to do 1-for-1s right now, so now we need to go back to the Patriots, ask them for the 3rd overall pick. Let's go to the Patriots and pick number 3, and they accept. So now we have the 3rd overall pick, and we need to trade with the Bears now. We've finally gotten up to it. Finally gotten up to the Bears. So we throw the 3rd pick at them, and we ask for the 2nd pick. And they say, trade declined. Okay, Chicago. You want to play hard to get, don't you? I could give them pick 30. And that would leave us with pick 2, pick 7, and pick 8 in the first round. I feel like we could come away with some good players with those picks. What about if I give a 4th? That's probably not going to be the case. I could keep dipping into my 2026 assets. Yep. But I think that it's time to give up that 30th overall pick. Trade goes through. We now have the 2nd overall pick. We can draft that generational defensive lineman. As long as the Washington Commanders don't screw me. Come on, Washington. Silas Sanford. They took the wrong player. They took the wrong player. They think they got a steal, but I got the real steal. Martin Fox, 6'3", 268, great speed, elite jumping. He looks unbelievable. Martin Fox. Ugh, that's the cornerstone right there. That's the Aaron Donald replacement. That is the Aaron Donald replacement right there. Martin Fox, welcome to the squad. He could have X-Factor. He probably doesn't, but he could. The Bears end up taking a linebacker. Patriots take a tackle. That's understandable. That's what they do. And then, okay, here we are. So this is the spot where they had us projected to take the quarterback. Now, if we don't end up taking the quarterback in this spot, I wonder where he falls to. That's a big question. I wonder if other teams know that he's not the greatest. He doesn't look bad, honestly. The only worry that I have is that he has normal development. That's the only worry. There's a good shot that he doesn't. There's a good shot that he has hidden. But do I want to take that risk? I don't think I can wait another year. Or do we just... I mean, we have 3 first-round picks next year. Do we just wait the year and then hope that next year's class has a guaranteed better quarterback? And then do we just try this year to get as many good players around the quarterback position so that when we do get it, we're ready to go? That's a possibility. We might try to bite the bullet and not take him. And then see where he falls. Because he could fall to us at a lower pick. Like, if he's there at the 2nd round, I would absolutely grab him. I guess we'll find out. I kind of want to take this left tackle, David Barnett. I think he's good enough to grab. There's some good players here. Probably not Justin Murray, though. He looks fine, but probably not him. I think I want to take David Barnett. We need a left tackle badly. And he looks pretty good. So I'm going to grab David Barnett here. Hidden development, 88 strength, 84 acceleration, 6'4" left tackle. I like that. And now we have another pick back-to-back, but then since we traded our 30th pick, we don't pick again until pick 11, which is that Titans pick that we got. So now we either have to grab the corner, Taj Bulla, 6'2" out of UCLA, who looks pretty good, but we did just add 3 corners in free agency. We could go for Jimmy Barton, D-tackle, who we know 90% on, and looks solid. He'd be probably starting over Bobby Brown, if we're being totally honest. Or we could grab this center who looks pretty good, Wade Hopkins, 6'4" out of Wisconsin, who might honestly be the best option. It's probably either him or this guy, Daryl Hawkins. Safety, strong safety, A pursuit. We don't know what his hit power is, but it could be an A. I think it's either Wade Hopkins or it's the corner Taj Bulla, and I think we need offensive lineman more than we need corner. So Wade Hopkins is our 8th overall pick. So we get 2 offensive linemen to pair alongside Avila and the other dude that we got. I forget his name. The right guard. You guys know what I'm talking about. But we don't have the quarterback. Taj Bulla goes to the Jaguars. Now we see where the quarterback goes. How long does he stay on the board? We're getting to teams that don't need a quarterback, so that's interesting. Nick Lopez. He has fallen down the board. Is this going to be a Will Levis situation? I think what's going to happen is, Vikings take him at pick 19. I was going to say, I think what's going to happen is he falls to early second round and gets taken with one of the first couple picks there, but he doesn't. He goes to the Vikings in the first round. Maybe they got their guy. I don't know. Maybe they got their guy. But now we've made it to the second round, and we've got Monty Kellum, a 6-foot strong safety with A block shed, A hit power, and A tackling. Well, this guy's just a whole bag of confusion, isn't he? He looks pretty good. He might be the best player left on them, or at the top of the board here. Although you got this guy, Shelton Bright, with the elite speed and the A zone coverage. He is a true middle linebacker, but he's round 2 to 3, and the other guy was round 1 to 2. Ooh, mommy. Ooh, daddy. We have Fuller. Hardly know her. But we could take Kellum and have him be right alongside him, but he's only known development. That kind of sucks. I bet that middle linebacker is a little bit better. He looks good, don't get me wrong. That guy's a stud of a pick, like in terms of his stats, or his attributes. But not having the development trait kind of hurts. He could get it pretty easily if he has a good year. And there goes Shelton Bright to the Chiefs. So the Chiefs get another linebacker that's a freak athlete. Great. That's just what the world needs. All right, so now that we've gotten ourselves some interesting players, we need to go see if there's a tight end available. Will Fisher, 6'6" out of Texas A&M, decent player. Round 3 to 4. We need a tight end. He's not development trait, but I mean, we could go to the Kansas City offense and make him unbelievable. We just need a body that's better than, who do we have? Hunter Long? I don't know who we have, but we needed a body that was better than what we had. So, and he's probably going to end up being better than that. So, I'm fine with that. Now we need to go to can we see if there's any wide receivers that are solid? There's a couple round 2 to 3s. These guys got to be bad. This guy's 6'5", Aaron Favors out of Alabama. How bad could he be if he's out of Alabama? He's not the best athlete in the world. He's probably not that good. He's probably not that good. I think we missed our mark on the receivers. That's okay, though. I don't even know where to go with this 4th round pick. Sometimes there's a pass rusher that's a freak in the back half of the draft. Eric Hutchins. He's got too much unknown about him. Who's this guy? Juan McCann. Elite acceleration, I like. He's probably normal development. But I'm going to take a flyer on him because I don't like anything. Oh, he is hidden. Then he's got to be a low overall then. Probably like a low 70, 72, 73, I would guess. I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest of the draft because I don't think there's anybody else that I want to take. So, especially not the back half of or the last couple picks of these later rounds. We got a lot of good players in that class. It probably is going to end up being not that good of a class in the first place if one of their top 5 projected players was a round 2 to 3 true talent. It's probably not going to be that good of a class. But we'll see what we got out of this. So we got Fox at a 78. We knew he was going to be unbelievable. He's generational, probably. David Barnett's a 73. Hopkins is a 73. Kellum is a 71. Remember, he was normal development. Fisher's a 67. McCann's 62. Yikes. Okay, so we didn't hit the ball on every single pick, but we didn't even get the number 1 pick. It was Paul Baldwin. He ends up being better than the center that we took. Wow. Okay. And then Fox was right there. But that's crazy that there was a center down the board slightly that ends up being an 81. But other than a center, we got the best player in the class. And I really do think Martin Fox is going to be unbelievable. Now we go into season number 2 with not a plan at quarterback. We have, I think, Carson Wentz starting. I might make it Stetson Bennett if he's still on the roster. He is still on the roster. I might make it Stetson Bennett. So now we have, I'm just going to start Hopkins at center. We have Dotson. That's who I was thinking of. I couldn't remember his name. And then we have Avila. We have Barnett. We have Puka and Jameson Williams. We're going to have, why not have Stetson Bennett start? We're going to have the rookie tight end start. And then on defense, Martin Fox will start right there. Linebackers look good. The corners look good. We still need a little bit of work, but we're looking better than we did before. That is for sure. We're looking better than we did after those trades. So I'm going to simulate year number 2. This part's going to start picking up faster. It's going to go a lot faster now. Year number 1, we just needed to focus. We needed to do those trades. And now we're going to get through these seasons pretty quickly. So I'll see you guys at the end of season number 2. So a little bit of a fall from grace after making the NFC title game just a season ago in year 1. Here in year 2, we finished 1-16. I guess that's what I get for starting Stetson Bennett at quarterback. Yeah, we are pretty much guaranteed to have the number 1 overall pick, which is nice. But Stetson Bennett, we know now, is not the guy, which we knew beforehand. We just didn't have another option. I didn't want to have Carson Wentz be the guy. So this is good. We have a number 1 pick. That's nice to work with. We can get our quarterback, and there are quarterbacks. There's a couple of quarterbacks in this class that look pretty good, so we'll take a look at them in a second. Stetson had a bad year. Kyron didn't go over 1,000 yards. Puka had 1,000, but nobody else really did anything because the quarterback wasn't getting the ball. Defensively, Jordan Brooks killed it in his first season, which is expected. Kelvin Joseph had a good year. The rookie, oh, it's got to be rookie of the year numbers right there. It's got to be. 84 tackles, 24 for loss, 9.5 sacks. Please tell me. Michael Hoyt is killing the game right now. He's having a really good year, or really good seasons. He led the team, Fox did. I knew it was worth taking him at 2. That's why we traded up to get him in the first place. Absolutely knew it. Absolutely knew it. I need to know if Martin Fox won Defensive Rookie of the Year. We know, we've been over this before. I get screwed when it comes to winning awards in this game. Most of the time, my players have really better years than whoever wins the award, but they still give it to the other player. It's going to be Chiefs and Saints in the Super Bowl. What a weird matchup. But Martin Fox got 2 upgrades. Martin Fox just got 2 upgrade points, which means he won at least an award. I don't know if it's the Defensive Rookie of the Year award, but he at least won a award. Because you don't get 2 upgrades unless you win an award. That's usually how it works. So let's take a look at the season recap. Chiefs win the Super Bowl, by the way. That's pretty much, you were going to guess that. Martin Fox, Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Rams. Aaron Donald and the Cardinals won Defensive Player of the Year. Good for him. Dak Prescott wins MVP of the league. Lamar Jackson, Offense Player of the Year. Addison Jeffrey, wide receiver for the Bills, is the Rookie of the Year on the offense side of things. And Mahomes gets another MVP of the Super Bowl. So those are your awards, but we got ourselves the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I just knew he was the right guy to draft. He could be one of the best defensive pass rushers we've ever drafted in one of these videos. There's a good shot of that. But now we got to go to the offseason. I don't think have to re-sign anybody. I think I checked at like week 11 or whatever when I was doing the private workouts. And I don't think there was anybody that good. But let me take a look at this development. Do we have any significant upgrades? On offense, we have double star development for Hopkins and Barnett. That's not a shock. I assume that's what they'd be. Kyron Williams still doesn't go up, but he's still a very solid running back. J-Mo and Puka are still star. On defense, superstar for Hoyt and Brooks and Kelvin Joseph and Akilla Witherspoon. And Martin Fox has superstar. Now, did he have it originally, or did he go up with it? Yes, okay, so he goes up because he won Rookie of the Year. So he originally had star, which is kind of a bummer. But him having superstar in his second season is going to be really, really good. Okay, so, I mean, the pieces are coming together. I know we just finished 1 in 15 or whatever it was. 1 in 16. But the pieces are coming together for this team, man. It's going to take maybe 2 more seasons, I would say, before we're really, really good. I mean, that's considering we get ourselves our quarterback this year, which there's nobody in nobody in renegotiations that I want. We're going to go to free agency, see if there's anybody we can add to this team. We probably need to get a left guard to back up Avila, but we don't need to sign anybody like a starter or anything at left guard. It's punters, it's D tackles, it's nobody that I am that intrigued by. Running backs, nothing. Wide receivers, I could use another receiver probably for the quarterback to throw to, whoever we get. It's just there's not really a whole lot here. Marquez Callaway is intriguing. At 27, I might go for him, and he wants to be here, so that helps out a little bit. So we'll offer Marquez Callaway a deal. Tight ends, no. Offensive lineman. Who was that 26-year-old? Dan Moore Jr.? Left guard. We need to get a left guard for a backup. So let's go for David Edwards. We'll sign him to a 2-year deal, and he should back up Steve Avila. And then center, right guard, right tackle, left end. Kwity Paye. Ooh, this is intriguing. I like Kwity Paye. I think he could pair really well alongside Martin Fox. So if we offer Kwity Paye that, he should pretty much accept that. The Saints are battling with us, but we should be able to grab him. Who else do we want? We don't need a right end. Jack Sanborn we always see here, but this time he's star development. Sometimes he's only normal development, but he has developed to be a star, so that makes me more interested in him. If he was only normal, I'd probably say no, but I am intrigued by him. I know we don't necessarily need him, but we can make things happen. Middle linebacker, right outside linebacker, corners. There's Duke Shelley again. Safeties. Okay, that's going to be all that we offer. Kwity Paye, Marquez Callaway, Sanborn, and David Edwards. They all signed, and they all signed with us, I think, right? We only offered 4 people, or did we offer 5? Did we offer 5 people? I don't remember. I think we got everybody. I might have been wrong. I know I just said it, but I forgot already. Let's go and adjust the lineup and see how the team is looking now. So we will generate best lineup, and we will put the tight end back at the top. Callaway comes in. Kyron Williams. We have a running back that's a star development down the board, but he's not down the roster, but he's not that good. Okay, so Sanborn comes in, and he's right there with Byron Young. Kwity Paye now falls in line with Martin Fox. The corners are looking really good, at least now that Kelvin Joseph is star development. I like that a lot. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. We just need to find our quarterback. We just need to find our quarterback. And he could be He could be in this draft class. I have taken a look at it. I did change my scout, so our scout is a quarterback scout, and I used my Week 8 national focus on quarterbacks. So we know 100% on the top quarterbacks in this class. And I will let you know now, there is not one that is a true top 5, which is a little bit upsetting, but we can't wait any longer. We have to get a quarterback this year. We can't keep pushing this off another year. This is our best opportunity, because remember, 2026, we don't have a first or a second round pick. So we need to get our quarterback right now. This is our best opportunity. We have the #1 overall pick. It has to happen right now. Mock draft number 5 has us taking Ryan Wilcox, and I was wrong. Last time I checked, there wasn't a true top 5 talent, but they have changed. There's been some updates. Interesting. Ooh, very interesting. I was not expecting there to be an upgrade to Ryan Wilcox, who I didn't think was the best of the bunch when I took a look at him originally, but I mean, they're saying he's now a true top 5 talent, so he's obviously gotten better. I mean, he's got the elite throw power, he's got the elite strength. He's not the fastest in the world, but in simulation, you don't really need him to be fast. He's got decent accuracies, but I was looking at other quarterbacks down the board, and I thought a couple of them looked a little bit better. Matt Lowry doesn't have the arm that the other dude has, but he's got better attributes, it looks like. And then Josh Amell, Steven's brother, he has the throw power. He doesn't look as good as the other guys do. But this guy I thought looked the best. Gary McCartney, he's a little bit faster. He's got the elite throw power, same as Wilcox, but he looks like he's a little bit more athletic and has got better accuracies. So, I mean, Gary McCartney looks to me like the better quarterback. 6'5", he's not super athletic, but I mean, he's a true top 5 talent. I don't know who the better quarterback is. 6'5", I mean, that's a quarterback right there. 6'5", 229 with a cannon of an arm. I don't know how you could pass that up. That could be Josh Allen, that could be Justin Herbert. But this guy, Gary McCartney, looks arguably better than Wilcox does. He's got better short accuracy. I think the move is to take Ryan Wilcox with the #1 overall pick, and then we just have to hope that he's the best quarterback in the class. I don't know if he's going to end up being the best quarterback in the class, but I think that's what we have to hope for. We can't pass up on a true top 5 talent. Just can't do it. All right, but I do want to know how good these other corners are. There was another corner that I wanted to know about. Where'd he go? Was it Moody? No, it wasn't Moody, was it? I guess it was. He doesn't look as good as I once thought he did. DeMarcus Williams looks pretty good. He's got the A and B. Chris Kemp, I kind of want to know if that man coverage is an A or a B or a C. Ooh, there's a couple free safeties that look solid. This draft class looks a lot better than the other one. This draft class looks a lot better than the other one, that's for sure. And there's a right tackle, Justin Landry. We are in need of a right tackle. But it's Madden. We could always change a center to right tackle. But I think I'm going to scout those 3 guys. So Roman Kitchens, DeMarcus Williams, Justin Landry are going to be my 3 private war guys. But there's some good players in this class. There are some good players in this class. I think we are going to have to take Wilcox with the #1 overall pick. I don't think that we can risk not having a true top 5 talent in the class. We got to take him. But then Kitchens is also a true top 5. I think we have to come with Roman Kitchens as well. We're obviously not going to take the quarterback, Matt Lowry. There's Justin Landry at number 9. What's our other picks at? I think we have 3, right? We have pick 27 along with the other top 10 pick. Okay, so how do we come away with everybody. We're going to come away with Wilcox. We're going to come away with Kitchens. I'm going to trade up with the Panthers. It's just how do we come away with Landry as well? It's going to be a little bit more tricky, but I'm probably going to implement my signature trade up every draft pick. But let's go talk to Carolina and persuade them to hand over their pick, because they don't need a corner. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't need a corner. We're going to trade from 7 to 5 to get ourselves Roman Kitchens guaranteed. So now we have 2 of the 5 top 5 talents in the class guaranteed. Those are our guys. It's just a matter of getting Landry as well. We don't even know if Landry's a top 5 talent, but it's a matter of getting him. And we have to get up to number 9. I'm going to go and trade up to number 9, and I will see you guys when I've got that pick. All right, I have the 9th overall pick now. I traded my 2027 first round pick. I could have done the thing that we did last season where I just went pick by pick and kept going up the board, but I didn't want to do that. I got bored, so I just traded my first round pick, and now we can get the 3 guys that I want to get. So it could be smart to trade this pick away to get more assets, but we got to get our guy. We're going to get a guaranteed top 5 talent, even though I'm worried that he's not the best player, the best quarterback in the class. Ryan Wilcox at normal development. I mean, he's got 97 throw power, 84 acceleration, 79 speed. But the normal development burns my soul. I really think that the other quarterback is better. I really do think that. Oh, I think that with a good year, he can go up very quickly, but that is brutal. The fact that I really do think that Gary McCartney is the better quarterback, but I mean, we had to go with the top 5 talent. Roman Kitchens is unbelievable. I'm not even going to mention Roman Kitchens. I mean, he's phenomenal. 6'3", 95 speed, 92 excel. You kidding me? That's generational right there. That's a fantastic pickup, but I really do think that Gary McCartney is the better quarterback. I probably should have went with him, but I mean, I was seeing red. I saw the top 5 and I couldn't get it past my brain. And then we're going to come away with Justin Landry as well, because we needed a right tackle to replace Noteboom, and he's normal development as well. Wow. This draft has not gone the way that I expected. I mean, we got a franchise corner, which is not bad. But the 2 picks I was counting on to be really, really good that we didn't know were going to be really, really good or not. And they're not that good. That's kind of crazy. Man, I don't know. I mean, I think they'll end up being good players for us. Because we know that the quarterback is a top 5 talent. So we know that he's going to be... There goes Gary McCartney to the Browns. The Browns of all teams are able to grab the quarterback that I think is going to end up being the best one. That's... Okay. The centers are all gone that I was liking. It's kind of annoying. I think there was a couple defensive line, or at least linebackers, that looked good. Yeah, a couple of these guys look okay. We don't need a corner anymore. There were some good safeties, but we're not really in the market for a safety, I wouldn't think. I could be persuaded to take a receiver. Trayvon Lewis. 4.39 is not that bad. But in the second round, is he worth it? Nick Boone. 4.5. He's not as fast. I'm tempted to take him. I'm tempted to take the receiver. I really am. As long as there's not another player that I'm missing here in the second round. I don't think there is. This guy's got a lot of A's, but they're not the A's in the right spots. He could have development trait, though. That's the one thing that I'm looking for. I'm tempted to take that receiver. I think I might. Trayvon Lewis, I don't know how good you're going to be, but you ran 4.39 at the 40-yard dash and a 4.38 at the pro day. That's good enough for me. And he's got a development trait. Trayvon Lewis ends up being a good second-round pick. He can go alongside Puka and J-Mo. Then we pick at the top of the 3rd round, and we have another 3rd-round pick, which is our own 3rd-round pick, I think. So, oh, I know this is our own 3rd-round pick. We have somebody else's 3rd-round pick. Let's go talk to some outside linebackers, or middle linebackers even. See if there's anybody who's really, really good. Devon Nix. Hit power, zone coverage. A zone coverage as a run-stopping archetype is intriguing. Elite speed for Milner. We might be able to come away with him in our next pick at pick 15. Alonzo Campbell. He's got elite speed as well. He's the fastest middle linebacker. There are some good linebackers on this board still. But we're in need of a D tackle more than a linebacker. I think I'm going to grab Wayne Haskins. Big development trait. We needed a development trait, a defensive tackle, and we got it. So now we have Kwity Paye, Martin Fox, and Wayne Haskins. And now, with pick 15, we can come away with one of those linebackers that we were looking at. I don't know which one. Maybe they're all available still. Who was it I was just looking at? Did they get taken, both of them? I think they might have both got taken there. Unless it's this guy. Is it you, Darren Parnell? That doesn't sound familiar, but he looks pretty good physically. Oh, man, he might be better than what I was looking at. I don't remember that name. And I don't remember these names. I think both of them got taken, the guys I was looking at. But that dude looks really good. I think I'm going to take him. Darren Parnell, at least he's a good athlete. We're going to grab him. Only normal development, but 86 speed, 91 acceleration. That's pretty fast. That is pretty fast. And then we have the first pick of the 4th round. We have the first pick of every round, basically, because we're sucky. Very, very sucky. Okay. A lot of corners, a couple safeties. I honestly don't know where to go with this. I might just let the CPU handle this, because I don't know where else we need to go. Kerry Jenkins, 6'5", not a good athlete. I don't know what to pick. I think I'm just gonna let the CPU handle. I know we have a few draft picks left, but I don't know. I don't want to make any picks that I'm gonna regret. So might as well let the CPU handle it. Maybe they can draft a hidden development player. They've done it before. They've drafted superstar development players before for me, so they've done a good job. We'll leave it to them. Man, that quarterback not having development trait just burns my britches. What's his overall? He's a 76. That's good enough to start year 1. He was going to start year 1 anyway, basically. Roman Kitchens an 81. Not a surprise. Landry's a 74. I don't know if that's good enough to start over Note Boom. Trayvon Lewis is a 74. Haskins 72. We took Darren Parnell. He's a 74. They took another corner. He's bad. They took a running back, another receiver who has 98 speed, 98 excel, 97 agility. Holy crap. Does he have a development trait? He does. Cordell Birmingham is a burner. He's Burnerham. Oh my God. He is fast. That's a huge pace. See what I'm telling you? The CPU killed it with that. The best player in the class was obviously Roman Kitchens, then a running back, then Mooney, then another corner, and then there's Wilcox. I feel like we got baited into taking Wilcox. Where is McCartney at? He is a 75. He has a development trait. If this development trait is more than star, I am going to burn my house down. It's only star. Oh, thank God. Thank God, because if I don't have a development trait on my quarterback, I do not want to have the guy that I missed out on have superstar or X factor, because I would have been heated. Ooh, that would have just been so annoying if he would have had that. But we head into year 3. It's a new era. It is a new era in LA. I think we are on the brink. We are on the brink of being a talented organization. We're going to have Landry start. The offensive line's pretty much fixed at this point. Fisher's going to start at tight end. The rookie will start at quarterback. We've got some good receiving help. I'm actually going to have Landry be number 3. Why not? Need to get him some usage. And then on defense, I like the linebackers. Haskins will be behind Brown because he's too high an overall. The corners are pretty much done now at this point. Safeties are looking good. Yeah, I mean, we're probably a year away from being a contender. This season's probably going to be another wash, but I mean, we don't have any draft picks anyway, so we got to try to get that quarterback as many good stats as possible. I will see you guys at the end of year 3. We finished the year and we improved with our rookie quarterback, 9-8 on the season. 9-8 on the year. That's a lot better. I did want to point out I changed the playbook to Kansas City offense to give our quarterback the best opportunity to get as many yards as possible so that he could possibly win Rookie of the Year and go up a development trait. And it looks like he might have done that. 4,100 yards, 33 touchdowns to 9 picks. That's gotta be Offensive Rookie of the Year. Please tell me. He's got the quarterback of the future tag. Please tell me he's gonna go up to star development. That's a really, really good year. Kyron Williams, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. I should have guessed that the tight end would be the top. That's gonna be star development for him. 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Puka had 1,000 yards with 10 touchdowns. J-Mo and the young rookie Trayvon Lewis also played pretty well. Defensively, Jordan Brooks had a good year, 132 tackles. Tackle for loss leader was Martin Fox. Oh my God, Martin Fox, you are the best. 17 sacks, 19 for loss. I hope that's Defensive Player of the Year numbers because that could take him up to X Factor possibly. There's a good shot. And Michael Hoyt just continues to be a productive player. I don't know why he's being so productive, but he's just like the most productive player. There seems to be like one player that you never would expect to be good, and he just like dominates in these rebuilds. It's weird. Okay, we'll get to the Super Bowl. We will take a look at development trait upgrades. I'm praying that Martin Fox gets X Factor. I'm praying that Wilcox gets at least star, maybe superstar, because hopefully he goes up because he won the award, and then he just goes up because of natural progression. That could be a possibility. It's Niners-Ravens. What a Super Bowl. Oh my God, Martin Fox has 4 upgrades. Oh my God, that's got to be X Factor. He's got to have X Factor. And Ryan Wilcox does get an extra upgrade. I'm going to auto-upgrade them. Martin Fox was the best pickup we could have ever asked for. So let's go to the lineup and see just how good our guys are. Superstar development for Wilcox. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, Ryan Wilcox, man. I knew it. I knew all we needed to do. He's got the arm. I knew all we needed to do was put him in an offensive playbook that was going to help him. And that's so good. That means he probably won Rookie of the Year. Lewis is a superstar development receiver. The drafting god is back, ladies and gentlemen. The tight end is now up to a star development, which is not a surprise. He'll be superstar next season. Fox is a freaking X Factor. Only a star for Kitchens, which is a little bit surprising, but that's okay. The rest of the team looks really good. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting there. This team next year, I think, can be a playoff contender. Now, remember, we don't have any first or second round pick this year. So we traded that all away. And we don't have a first round pick the year after because I traded that to get the right tackle, Landry. So we're kind of at a loss for first round picks, but that's okay because at this point, we're not needing first round picks anymore. We're going to need to sign a couple of free agents, bring them back, bring some players back, and just fill in some holes, and then we're pretty good to go. McCaffrey and the Niners win the Super Bowl. McCaffrey is the MVP. Hurts is the MVP of the league and Offensive Player of the Year, but Martin Fox wins Defensive Player of the Year, and we got Ryan Wilcox to be Offensive Rookie of the Year, which is why he went up to Superstar. And then Demarius Walford, D-tackle for the Dolphins, wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. But we got 2 huge awards from our 2 most important players, to be honest. And with the combination of these guys having another year of development, they're getting higher overalls, and the Kansas City playbook, I mean, our tight end is going to be a superstar development tight end by the end of season 4. So we don't need to worry about that. And I think I just skipped negotiations. Did I just skip negotiations? I think I did. Oops. I don't know. I hope there wasn't anybody important in there. Nobody at the top of the draft, or top of the board, which is good. Well, that scared me for a second. I thought I might have missed out on getting somebody really important back. But that's good. Okay, so there's nobody that I needed to have signed. We're going to stick with Kyron Williams. We've got the receivers locked down. We've got our tight end figured out now. Offensive line is sorted. We don't need any offensive linemen. Left end, I like Kwity Paye, but I just don't think he's going to be a high enough overall for us. I think he can get the job done for now. And there's not really anybody else that I want to go for. Corners figured out. Safeties are pretty good. Man, this is crazy. We don't need anybody. Okay, we don't need to sign anybody. I was going to try to hopefully sign some people just to like fill in some holes or something, but there was nobody there that I absolutely needed to have. So we're going to sim straight to the draft, and we are going to, I don't know, draft some players, I guess. I mean, we've got a 3rd round pick, and that's basically, yeah, I think we have a 4th round pick too. I don't know who we're even going to get. I might even just let the CPU handle it. I don't even think I'm going to draft anybody. I mean, what's the point? What's the frickin' point? I'll do like private workouts, I guess, but I don't even know. I don't even think there's a reason to draft anybody. Nah, I'm not going to do private workouts. We're just going to let the CPU handle this. Not having the 1st or 2nd round picks kind of lends itself to not wanting to draft. There could be some studs in this class down the board, obviously, that could help us out. But at this point, we're 3 seasons deep. About to be 4 seasons in. We don't need rookies anymore. We just need to develop the guys that we have around. So drafted. That's why I was so I was more willing to trade picks, 1st round picks later in the years, because I was hoping that we'd be good, and we are starting to get better. I think next year, I think this season we can do really, really well. So they took a bunch of players that aren't going to matter for us. That's fine. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Best player in the class is wide receiver, 79 overall. So we weren't missing on too much. 79 overall. It's not. It's only one 79 overall. It's not that good of a class. There was like a 78 and then a couple 77s. It wasn't that good of a draft class. So we weren't missing out on much. But we head into the next season with our superstar development quarterback, our X-Factor pass rusher. So we replace Stafford, we replace Aaron Donald, and we replace Cooper Kupp with Puka Nacua. So, I mean, the offense is looking really, really good. Another year in the Kansas City offensive playbook. I think this year we're going to be a playoff team. I really do. So I'm going to finish the year, and I'll catch back up with you guys when I'm done. We have officially resurrected the Rams, 12-5. The young quarterback seems to be doing his thing, and I am absolutely here for it. Absolutely. I mean, I have to be here for it. We spent the #1 overall pick on him, so you have to be here for it. And he seems to be fitting in nicely in this Kansas City offense. 4,100 yards, 34 touchdowns, 10 picks. Similar numbers to what he put up last season when he won Rookie of the Year. He's not going to win Offensive Player of the Year this year, but hey, we don't need him to. We just need him to continue doing what he's doing, and we'll win games, I guess. 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns for Kyron Williams. Puka and the tight end Fisher had really good years, as you would expect. That's probably going to be superstar development for Will Fisher. I would guess. Jordan Brooks just continues to ball out with tackles. He's gotten like 130 every single season. Hoyt continues to be super productive. Martin Fox continues to be the greatest of all time. I mean, I absolutely love him. And then interceptions, a lot of interceptions. 3 from Joseph Kitchens and Fulton, and then 2 from Fuller, and 1 from a couple other guys. That's a lot of picks. It's a crazy number of picks. All right, Cowboys, 9-8. Come on, move to the NFC title game. Only by a little bit, by a field goal, but we take on the Eagles in the NFC title game. We played in the NFC Championship in year #1. Then we didn't make it for 2 straight years. One of those years we had 1 win. But now we are back. Year #4 in the opportunity. I mean, this Kansas City playbook, I told you, we went over that whole video with Carson Strong. This Kansas City playbook is crazy. Speaking of Kansas City, they are in the AFC title game against the Chargers. That could be an upset. You never know. Probably not, though. And then us versus the Eagles. It's going to be pretty close. I think we got the edge, though. We are the 1 seed, so I would think that we're the favorite. Eagles, Rams, 12-5, 12-5. Come on. Oh, my God, by a point. By a point did we get past the Eagles. The second-year man, Ryan Wilcox, has carried this team along with Jordan Brooks and Martin Fox to the Super Bowl to play against the LA Chargers. He is now a true 85 overall, and we've got a chance to end this rebuild right here, right now. The Chargers beat the Chiefs in an upset on its own. I didn't think the Chiefs would lose, but they certainly did. And then look at these games. AFC title game finished on a field goal, I would guess. 1-point win, and then a 1-point win by us. The AFC and NFC title games must have been unbelievably good to watch. I mean, people do say that the championship games, Championship Sunday, is the last real week of football in the NFL season because the Super Bowl is more for the casual fans and stuff, and for the media. So the NFC and AFC title games are the last real football weeks. And those must have been really, really good games to watch. But it all comes down to this. Can we get the Rams another Super Bowl and do it the right way this time and not sell out and trade for a bunch of players? 12-5 versus 11-6. Rams versus Chargers. LA versus LA. Let's go see if we can be on top. Here we are in the Super Bowl. It is an all LA Super Bowl. And it is getting a little bit crazy in here. 14-10. 21-10. Come on, Rams. There you go. 21-13. I like it. 21-16. Late fourth quarter. We need a score. Oh, my God. With a little bit under a minute to go, we put a touchdown in the end zone. And the Chargers have a chance to tie it with a field goal. Here we go. 6 seconds left. 5 turnovers for the Chargers. If they make this, we're going to overtime. And it's up, and it's gonna be good. So most likely we're gonna go to overtime. I don't know why so many of my rebuilds the Super Bowls end in overtime. Why can't we just win it in regulation? Why do we have to go to overtime? And I don't make no sense. I wish we didn't have to do it. But the Chargers take the ball, do very well with it. 4th and inches, 1st and goal. We made it, so I think it's next score wins now. And the Chargers punted the ball back to us. All we have to do is get in the field goal range. Come on, Rams. We did it! The Rams got into field goal range and scored. 34-31, and we have rebuilt the LA Rams to a Super Bowl team. We got our quarterback. We got the right playbook. We got our number 1 overall pick, Martin Fox, or number 2 overall pick, I should say, Martin Fox. Thank you, Chicago, for that. It only took a quarterback. That's all we needed. We needed a quarterback. We got our quarterback. And the LA Rams are back on top of the football world as Super Bowl champions. Who's going to get the MVP? I mean, the Chargers had 5 turnovers in this game, so I'm guessing it's going to be a defensive back or a linebacker or something, because I'm guessing there was a pick 6 or something happened in this game to where a defensive player is probably going to win Super Bowl MVP. But we have done it. We have done the dang thing. Rebuilt the Rams in what, 4 seasons? 5 seasons? I think it was 4 seasons we did it. That's a quick turnaround, but hey, that's what happens when you have the right playbook, which Kansas City playbook is usually the right playbook, and you have the right pieces around a good young quarterback. So we will simulate to the whatchamacallit recap so we can see who won MVP and all that good stuff. I doubt that we won any regular season awards. We don't usually win any awards. Season recap is Roman Kitchen. He must have had a pick or some sort of pick 6 or something like that with one of the 5 turnovers by Justin Herbert. But he wins Super Bowl MVP. Dak is regular season MVP. CeeDee Lamb and Joey Bosa are the players of the year. Alex Green, wide receiver for the Patriots, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Antoine Armstrong, left end for the Browns, wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Let's take one final look at this team and then wrap this rebuild up because we have completed the challenge. We have rebuilt the team, turned them into a dynasty probably. I mean, they've got they got a lot of manageable contracts. They've got a rookie quarterback, or a young quarterback on a rookie deal. He's now an X factor, no surprise there. Fisher's now a superstar, no surprise there. Puka's a superstar. Birmingham is a superstar. Did he go up by, or did the CPU just draft another star player for me? No, he was just a superstar. Why does the CPU always find these guys? 99 speed, 98 excel, 97 agility for Cordell Birmingham. I mean, this dude is unbelievable. He's going to be so good in a couple of years, especially with that superstar development. He's going to be so good. But we can't forget about this man right here, Ryan Wilcox, a franchise quarterback. I don't feel so bad taking him at number 1 now and missing out on the other quarterback, because he turned out to be really, really good. I mean, no surprise, he fits the Patrick Mahomes playbook pretty well with that 98 throw power. So I knew he was going to perform pretty well, which is why I picked that playbook. And I wanted the tight end to get developed. But this, I mean, these numbers are pretty crazy. Ryan Wilcox is a stud. Absolute stud. Puka looks good now. Trayvon Lewis, who we took in the 2nd round, I'm pretty sure, a couple of years ago, is a really good receiver. I mean, we've got so much young talent at the receiver position that we're set up for a decade, basically. Puka's young, J-Mo's young, and then our 2 young rookies and 2nd-year guy. I mean, we've got talent at the receiver position for years. Years and years and years. Kyrie Williams is good, and he developed, which is what I wanted to see. He didn't get a development trade upgrade, but he developed. The offensive line, I told you was going to need the most changing. We took David Barnett early on, and he ended up being a really, really good player for us. It helped that he had a development trade, because if he didn't, like Landry did, it would have probably looked a little bit ugly. Then we got Wade Hopkins, I think, in the 1st round as well. I think that was one of the years we had the 3 first-round picks, the 2nd year. And he looks really, really good. He was a good pickup. There probably could have been better players. I mean, we saw that in that draft class, there was the highest player in the class was a center. But I think our guy, Hopkins, is an unbelievable player. Justin Landry, really, really talented. Sucks that he didn't have a development trait, but I'm happy that we got him. And then this guy, Will Fisher, didn't have any future, but then we put him in that Kansas City playbook, and he developed, which is what I keep saying. I keep preaching it. Any tight end, you can have the worst tight end in the world, but if you put him in Kansas City playbook with a good quarterback, you're gonna have a unbelievable talent in a couple of seasons. It's just what happens. That's just the Travis Kelce role is so overpowered in this game that's just what happens. And then on defense, Michael Hoyt is a freaking X factor now. He is so good. I don't know why he's so good, but he's so good. He has no business being as good as he's been. Darren Parnell didn't really get to play much, but he's a good athlete. I like him. He's a solid athlete. And then we can't even forget to talk about this man right here, Martin Fox, 2nd overall pick in year 1, and he's just the best. He is so good. He's going to be a true 99 probably next season if we were to go another year. He is unbelievably talented. And then this guy, Wayne Haskins, going to take over for Bobby Brown pretty soon, probably next season as well if we were to go another year. He's really, really good. And we can't forget about maybe the dark horse of the entire video was Roman Kitchens. Super Bowl MVP Roman Kitchens. We took him with what, the 7th pick, 8th pick, something like that. And we knew he was going to be good from the get-go. We knew he was going to be good from the jump, and he is proven to be just that. He is phenomenal. We also took a couple other corners, but they're not really that great. Kelvin Joseph is a superstar development player now. That's awesome. And Kellum, kind of a wasted pick, Monty Kellum. But it's just because John Johnson never really regressed as much as I thought he would. We didn't have to replace him. I mean, he's a 79 overall. He's playing up, but he's still a very usable starter, and we didn't really have to replace him. But this team was really, really fun. It's fun to see some of those random players like Michael Hoyt develop into an X factor out of nowhere. Like, you would never expect that, and that's probably not going to happen. If you were to do this simulation like 10 times, that probably doesn't happen more than 3 or 4, I would guess, but it happened this time, and it really helped us out. But we came up with some clutch draft picks. Roman Kitchens, Martin Fox, obviously Ryan Wilcox, unbelievably clutch pickups, and we won a Super Bowl. So that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.